lot of interesting and a lot of fascinating events has unfolded in the country of Finland regarding Mr. Simon, a man held in Èkpá Correctional Center situated or domiciled in Finland. Today being the 26th of May of 2025, Mr. Simon was brought before the Päijät-Häme District Court to officially kickstart his trial, and a lot of events played out in the court session. So in this video, we shall be discussing and showcasing every single thing that happened today in the Päijät-Häme District Court regarding Mr. Simon's trial. Well, just in case you want to fact check us, or just in case you want to get first-hand info for yourselves, you can actually go to the Päijät-Häme District Court official website and read up all the documents posted on their official website. Yes, so today being the 26th of May of 2025, Mr. Simon appeared before the Päijät-Häme District Court to begin his trial. Yes, the Päijät-Häme District Court was opened around 10 a.m. today, but Simon was called upon around 10:55 a.m. of this said day. Yes, Simon appeared in court together or alongside his lawyer, the person of Carl Gumerus. And just in case you don't know who Carl is the official lawyer representing Simon in the court of law. Well, the whole court session kicked off around 10:55 a.m. and the very first case, or the very first document that was presented before Simon and his legal counsel team was the case of sit at home. Yes, the prosecuting lawyer presented a series of documents to state the fact that Simon somehow, some way incited violence using his social media platform and also forcing individuals and residents of the southeastern part of Nigeria to sit at home every single Monday. But Carl Gumerus quickly countered the statements coming from the prosecuting lawyer. He was like, Simon never forced anybody to sit at home. Simon has never incited any form of violence in the southeastern region of Nigeria, and Simon will never ask anybody or force anybody to sit at home. And this is coming from Carl Gumerus in a form of protection to protect his client, Simon. But the lawyer representing the government of Finland said something and presented a document that placed Carl Gumerus and the whole courtroom in a very awkward situation and position. Showing right now on your screen is the lawyer representing the government. He was like, see, this document was signed by you. If you look closely, you definitely see your signature, you see your name, and this was released on the 2nd of July of 2023. Yes, so what is this document and why is it even presented in the courtroom? Well, the lawyer was like, see, this document was released on the 2nd of July of 2023, which is a public service announcement for a sit-at-home order. He was like, see, this word order are not voluntary, meaning this is more like a compulsory announcement. He also went a step further to show that, see, we have your signature here and this came from your office. The lawyer representing the government also highlighted a section of this document which Carl Gumerus wasn't able to defend. He was like, see, this document states, and I quote, we hereby call on all market leaders to strictly adhere to this order and treat it with utmost seriousness. We also call on all oil companies operating in USB territory to shut down oil exploration on this date to avoid the anger of the USB people, which may come with heavy consequences. The lawyer also went a step further to explain this highlighted part of this document and how or why it contradicts an optional sit at home. He was like, as you can see clearly, this is an enforcement. You threaten people to sit at home. You ask them to stay at home using very strict and compelling terms and wordings. So as you can see, this is not an optional document or an optional request. These are the words of the lawyer representing the government. These are not my own words. And like I said, feel free to go to the Päijät-Häme District Court website to get official and fact check every single thing that will be discussed in this particular video coverage. In a form of defense, Carl Gumerus stated that this particular document did not come from the desk of Simon. This did not come from him. This document probably was forged. This document probably was presented by somebody else and not Simon. But then the court also went a step further to present the fact that this came from Simon's Twitter page. And I don't want to bore you with all of the conversations leading to this document. Let's move and look at other interesting discussions had in the courtroom. Yes. The lawyer representing the government also said that Simon somehow, some way, has used a different platform to incite violence in the southeastern region of Nigeria, stating that Simon used or built a social media platform that was basically presented or basically built to be used as a form of inciting violence in the southeastern region of Nigeria. Showing right now on your screen is a document presented as fact. As you can see, we've blurred out some digits or some info about this document because these documents are highly confidential. And when you look closely, when you observe closely, you notice that this particular document is an email that was sent to Simon from the App Store Connect. Yes. So just in case you don't understand what is currently going on here, Simon builds, or he paid or financed the creation of a social media platform known as freedomstream.oy. Yes, just in case this is your very first time of hearing this particular social media platform, is more like a streaming platform like YouTube, like Twitter, and all of those, and Netflix, and all of those streaming platforms where you can go there, upload videos or watch videos. So the court was like, you created a social media platform known as Freedom Stream, and a lot of your users used this particular app to spread false info and to incite violence. Carl Gumeres, the lawyer representing Simon in the court of law, stated categorically that my client has no immediate control of what his users post on that platform. He was like, my client built this website or built this app. He paid for the creation of this app, and users can actually go there and upload whatever they want to upload. He has no immediate restrictions on this website or this app. He only take down videos if users flag down a particular upload. And the lawyer representing the government said negligence is not an excuse in the court of law, that you cannot use negligence to defend the fact that your own product has been used wrongly. Well, they had some back and forth, they had some conversations and all of those stuffs, which got really boring. But then the lawyer representing the government came out to present a tweet from Simon. Showing right now on your screen is a screenshot of that particular tweet where he said, this was released on the 28th of October of 2024. It states, breaking, the game-changing USB app about to hit the App Store. And the lawyer was like, as you can see, this came from your client. Your client founded and created this app, and he's the CEO of freedomstream.oy. And that app or streaming platform has been used to incite violence. And these are the words of the lawyer from the government. These are not my own words. I'm only here to give you the update and to share the news with you, analyzing every single thing that has been discussed today in the Paijehame District Court. Anyways, moving on swiftly, let's take a look at the most interesting parts of the whole court session today, because a lot of things were discussed, and if we really want to showcase everything from the Paijehame District Court, we'll probably spend more than 1 hour in this video coverage, but we're trying to summarize every single thing and make it easy for consumption and for understanding. And that is why we'll make this video very, very short and not 1 hour as the case may be. Yes, so the lawyer representing the government said that Simon has used his social media platform to incite violence and also used his social media platform to sponsor terrorism in Nigeria in different ways, in different shapes, and in different forms. The lawyer of Simon said, how can you say my client has influenced or sponsored issues or incidents in Nigeria? It doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. You cannot just come out and make allegations or place allegations on my client when you don't have proper evidence to back up your claims. And the lawyer from the government said, okay, in subsequent court sessions, I will definitely show you proof. I will definitely present proof and evidence, dissect them for you to see and understand. But then he presented something to the courtroom. He presented a full breakdown of Simon's activities on Twitter. I'll show you right now on your screen is a full breakdown coming from the lawyer representing the government, where he detailed Simon's full analytics. When you look down, when you scroll down to the bottom section of this screen or this page, you see that Simon has released over 5,582 tweets so far, and he has gathered over 226 million views and 20.8 million engagements and 11.4 million reactions. And this is coming from January of last year to September of last year only, as you can see on the left hand corner of your screen. So the lawyer was like, see, your client has used his social media platform to incite violence. He also presented a series of tweets to the courtroom and to the court sessions. He showed a lot of tweets, which I will definitely not bore you with. But if you want to see those tweets, If you want to see those tweets and really understand the gravity of what is happening right now, you can go to the Pajahame District Court website and get full info for yourselves. But then moving on swiftly, the lawyer representing the government came out to make a very, very strong allegation that will probably take Simons 2 steps backwards. Yes, he made a statement that will take Simon 2 steps backwards. So what did this man say and how will it affect Simon? Well, showing right now on your screen is a tweet coming from the USB whatever Twitter page released sometime last year. It states, all USB in Zoo Army that wishes to defend our motherland USB should send me a message at, and the number was enlisted in that tweet. Yes, a number was enlisted. We had to blur out some sections of that number so as to stay in line with YouTube terms and service concerns. Yes, so the lawyer said that after thorough investigations were carried out, after the National Bureau of Investigations investigated and looked into this number, they noticed that it's attached or linked with Simon. Yes, they claim that this number was once upon a time used by Simon, and that is why he's asking any individual, any USB citizen in the Nigerian army should resign and come back and serve their motherland. The lawyer also said that this is a clear form of terrorism. Yes, you can't ask individuals acting in the country's army to leave their army and fight against the army. That this is a clear form of terrorism and whatsoever. And that is the claim from the lawyer. But Simon's lawyer, Carl Gumera, said this tweet or this post doesn't mean anything. We cannot lay basis on a tweet coming from a very different handle and not the handle of Simon. It was like, this doesn't make any sense. And how can you say a number here, showing right now on your screen, is linked with my client? He's asking the court to prove it. He's asking the court to present documents and present facts that this number is linked with Simon. But then the lawyer from the government gave a little bit of facts and a little bit of details coming out from this number's WhatsApp. Showing right now on your screen is a conversation that was sent to that particular number, which many claim that Simon was a recipient of this particular number or this particular info. When you look closely, you notice that an individual was calling for help. You can pause this part of the video to read up and understand. If you want to see what is currently going on here, you can pause this video, read and understand. They were like, see, this message was sent to your client. Somebody was asking for assistance. Somebody was asking for help. An individual who joined your army has been gunned down, and the other one is currently being hunted down. They were like, as you can see, this is the number enlisted in this particular tweet, and this is a conversation from that particular number. So the question here, how did the government manage to get this tweet? When you look closely, when you look at this particular conversation, it's not a screenshot. Somebody visibly used a phone to take this picture. That is to say, the recipient of this particular message probably took a photograph of the message, or somebody who stumbled on this phone or who stumbled on the conversation took a picture of this photograph, which simply means that there's an inside work or an insider working in the USB at the same time working for the government of Nigeria and whatsoever. So in summary, Carl Gumeres, the lawyer of Simon, played a defensive role today. He did not actually try to call out the lawyers representing the government. Carl Gumeres told Simon to just sit back, lay low, and just defend whatever comes your way. Carl Gumeres was trying to see the facts or the evidence that the government or the lawyer representing the government has at this particular point in time. And that is why he did not really push, as the case may be. So what's next? Well, tomorrow being the 27th of May of 2025, the trials will continue in Finland. Yes, the trials will continue and kick off in essence again. And maybe tomorrow, Carl Gumeres will be more offensive in nature. Well, just in case you haven't subscribed to our video, this is the best time to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because this week is going to be very, very interesting from the Pajahame District Court. A lot of conversations will be held throughout this week, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss out. So do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Well, moving on swiftly. In our previous video, we showcased the fact that a company a Finnish company that secured a mega deal in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria to be precise, has received a lot of unexplained events. Yes, a company that secured a mega deal, $1 billion deal in Nigeria, a Finnish company, has witnessed a lot of downfalls and a lot of collapse of that particular company in Finland. Yes. Well, just in case you want to watch that video and get full update for yourself, we have that video showing right now on your screen. So do well to click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this video and I will see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.
Breaking news. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, reveals source of funding for its security operatives. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform. This is the only YouTube channel where you get updated news and information on everything trending and happening in Biafran territory. So, the news today, will be divided into two. This issue of the IPOB revealing their source of funding, and later on we'll be talking about the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. And then before the end of this video, one thing I can assure you is the good news that is coming directly from Finland. As I'm talking to you right now, the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko, has just gotten a new lawyer, a senior lawyer for that matter, as part of his legal team. And you know what? This lawyer is coming directly from Iran. You'll be getting the full detail why he decided to choose a lawyer from Iran. These and other news, will be the news we will be bringing up to you today in Biafran land, because there are critical issues to be discussed. But meanwhile, let us go into the main issue of the day as IPOB reviews source of funding for its security operatives. The news in details. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has disclosed that its security wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, is financed through voluntary donations and contributions from supporters across the globe. This clarification comes in response to the recent claims by the Nigerian Army, which announced the recovery of 11 million naira and $21,000 during an operation he said was carried out at an Eastern Security camp in Ugunabo local government area of Abia State. In a statement issued by the indigenous people of Biafra's spokesperson, Comrade Èkpá Powerful, the group firmly denied the existence of any such camp or the presence of large cash sums, describing the military report as false and misleading. We continue with the news. In their words, Èkpá Powerful said, if the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, possess such funds, they would be invested in developmental programs such as our Agricultural Revolution project, the group stated. It further explains that all financial resources are used transparently and directed towards community-oriented initiatives. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, emphasized that Eastern Security Network operatives and volunteers committed to defending local communities from criminal elements, particularly in rural countries or areas where farmers face ongoing security threats. The group called on the public to question unverified reports and urged security agencies to demonstrate greater professionalism and objectivity in their communication. This issue, of the Zoo Army trying to berate or demonize the indigenous people of Biafra, the Biafran Republic government in exile, and other top top Biafran group that are peacefully agitating for the freedom of their people is now a norm. So I'm not even surprised when I begin to see such news coming from the zoo government. Even as I'm talking to you, there is a news, that the Nigerian army dropped an information. Was it the Nigerian army that even dropped? Yeah, reports came in that IPOB sit at home caused over 700 deaths in southeastern part of the country since 2021. All this propaganda, all these controversial reports from the so-called zoo army and the so-called zoo media is actually just to demonize the indigenous people of Biafra, just to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a bad name, and just to find a way to bring down Simon Ekpa Njoku. But it is so unfortunate that we are still carried away, by these people and all the lies and all the propagandas they've been causing. You don't understand the kind of propaganda these people are causing. That is why I will always tell anybody who claims that he is defending Biafra, he is working and doing everything possible for the freedom of our people. I always tell them, why do you always go to this Zoom media to get your information? There is no way we that are in the media of Biafra will give an information against our people. We will try as much as possible to scrutinize this information and give you the real truth, because we cannot demonize Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We cannot demonize Biafran agitation, because we know what we are fighting for. We cannot bring down the name of Mazi Simon Ekpa, to a bad name. No, we cannot do that, irrespective of the fact that so many Biafrans, so-called Biafrans, who claim that they are also fighting for freedom, are causing all kind of propaganda against that young man, Simon Ekpa Njoku. But the reality is that we will try as much as possible, to protect our own, protect the interests of our people, and safeguard our land, because we know the importance of this young man called Simon Ekpa Njoku. Since the arrest of Simon Ekpa Njoku in Finland, what have you actually noticed that is happening in Biafran land? What have you noticed? If you're sincere with me, you will know that a lot of things have gone down. And that is why you see this so-called Zoo Army and the rest of them, Musa and the rest, coming out to brag on how they continue to terrorize our people on daily basis. The other day, I was watching the news, and the zoo police was bragging on how they will make sure, that they will bring down Biafrans, innocent Biafrans, all in the name of fighting insecurity. The big question is Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is Biafrans, the cause of the insecurity in southeastern part of the country? Kudos to the Nigerian court, that we're able to agree with Kanu and Gabi and the legal team that truly the video of the governor of Imo State and one other video actually vindicated Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they clarified in that video that IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Eastern Security Network, and the rest of them are not the cause of the insecurity that we are having in Biafran land. They are not. They went further to review the causes of the insecurity that we are having in southeastern part of the country, bringing the level of insecurity to the politicians. They are the one who is causing the insecurity in the land. And until the needful is done against these politicians, against these money mongers, against these criminals, then nothing will be done. That is why I keep on saying we need the immediate release of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. And if you're a true Biafran, you must continue to call for the immediate release of Simon Èkpá Njoko, as we continue to call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank God and kudos to the team who have been doing everything possible to raise awareness as we continue with a major world awareness concerning the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Èkpá Njoko. I said I was going to give you a good news. The good news is that Simon Èkpá has actually brought in an international powerful lawyer from Iran. Imagine bringing a lawyer from Iran. You will understand that Simon Èkpá Njoko is not playing with anybody. On more news that we'll be bringing up, later today, make sure you stay tuned so that you will get more updated news on this wonderful YouTube channel. Thank you once again for joining us, and make sure you share this video to as many groups and platforms as possible.